What is up, guys? Today we have a special video for you all. As you guys can see from the title, today we are going to be putting together a custom Republic Gunship. Now this isn't just any ordinary Republic Gunship. This is a custom design by my good friend Richboyjhae. Huge shout out to the guy because it is a phenomenal design. Since he released the instructions or released the model itself, I knew exactly that was the model I wanted to build. I've had previous gunships in the past before, and honestly, the difference between the two are just night and day. Another fun thing is I have slowly built up a small collection of Richboyjhae custom models, including the AT-AT, the First Order Transporter recently. I used to have the Razor Crest, and honestly, now I think I'm going to be putting together what I believe is going to be my favorite model, not other than just his, but in my collection in general. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, this has so many So I just want to reiterate, the amount of parts in this build is just insane. Between just white, dark red, gray, gold, all these pieces, even utilizing some lacquer silver pieces, there's just so many parts in this thing. Now you may be wondering why I am making a full video on building a custom gunship, especially since, you know, kind of out of the blue compared to what I've been doing recently. Now, one reason, obviously, the Republic Gunship is the coolest ship in the prequel series, so obviously that's a good reason enough in its own. Secondly, obviously with the previous Moc still being dismantled, we have to make plans for the next Moc. And by the end of this video, I really want to get you guys on a plan what will be the next Moc, which I am super excited to be working on in the coming month. So stay tuned for that at the end of the video. And to clarify, this thing and plenty more other vehicles will be utilized in said Moc. Alright, so before we go ahead and get started on building, obviously some sorting needs to be taken care of. There's just so many parts in this. There's no way I'm just going to get started right away. So much needed sorting is going to be done to get started. These clones are going to be helping me separate all the different colors, all the different pieces, and making the build a little bit more enjoyable. Now, to clarify, I don't think I'm going to have a time lapse of this, just due to the fact of my time between work, family life, and marriage life, all this and that. I'm probably going to be spending the next day or so, maybe next few days, putting this thing together, just to make sure that I have time for everything. So I feel like between bouncing back and forth, I don't know if a time lapse would be the best in this case, but regardless, I will be updating you as the build goes. Alright guys, so everything is completely sorted now, or at least cleaned up and at least matched with similar parts. So this is basically what it's looking like right now. Everything is still parted out, nothing started building yet. I just wanted to show you guys what everything kind of looked like now that majority of everything is taken out of bags. I actually have a little tote right there of all the trash bags that are going to be set off to the side for now. So now that everything is at least to the point where I can start building, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this beautiful, beautiful gunship. So now's a better time than any to give you guys a progress update. This is the next day, obviously. I spent about 5.5 hours putting this together. The majority of the framework is done. As you guys can see, there's definitely plenty colorful items that are still being seen right now. But again, the initial frame is pretty much taken care of. Everything is looking so freaking good. We have Commander Cody right there, kind of for scale or reference if you guys want to check it out. Definitely looking fantastic already. The bottom front's pretty much taken care of, as well as the engine back here, which is really freaking awesome to see. It's got those silver pieces that I mentioned before, as well as gold. Now I am going to clarify, and this goes out to Jhae. This looks fantastic, but pain in the butt to put together. Definitely not my favorite moments putting that together, but it definitely does look fantastic. So this is what this is looking like. Like I mentioned, the basics of the frame is taken care of. All that's really left is putting the actual body and then the wings as well as the cockpit. So with that being said, let's get back to work. So quick update before I call it in for the night. I have been working for a few more hours, and obviously I need to go to bed, get some sleep before I need to go to work tomorrow. But I got some really good progress, as you can tell, from being the main structure to having the whole cockpit front area and this long section right there taken care of. We obviously have a couple clones cleaning up and fixing up of things. This is the cockpit, obviously. This thing came out really nicely, especially how it fits in together. He did some pretty interesting techniques, so, you know, pros to Jhae on that one. It turned out really nicely. You can fit figures. I just don't have one in there right now, but I do have a Phase 1 pilot right there, kind of just chilling in there. So, overall, good progress is being made. Like I said, I spent a couple more hours on this thing, but obviously I do need to get some sleep, so I will be back at this again tomorrow with more progress. Alright, so I've made some significant progress. As you can tell, both wings are completed. The underside of the wings are also finished. And obviously the back of the ship, it's all pretty much done. Super happy with how this looked already. It just obviously just looks finished as it is. I'm still needing to put together the doors, so that's what I'm going to be moving on to next. I did have a oopsie. You may be wondering why there's a little slot right here off to the side. That's where the bubble turrets are supposed to go, and I made the mistake of not ordering the correct size trans-clear piece for the circle. And I have all the other parts, as you guys can see. I've got like the flex tubes, all the different parts that's supposed to go towards that, and can't put them together. So for the time being, the gunship is going to be without its bubble turrets, which I'm not too against. I think this looks fantastic as it is already. So all that's left for me to build should be the doors, and we will have a completed Republic Gunship. Super excited. I went ahead and swapped out the pilots. I have a more Episode 3 styled pilots in there right now, so definitely loving the look of this thing and can't wait to be finished here in just a moment. And just like that, it is completed. Guys, we have the finished gunship right here. Everything is officially done, minus the bubble turns, obviously, like I mentioned in the previous clip, but everything is taken care of. We have the finished gunship, wings are done, the doors came out really nicely. They are movable where you can open them up. I just have them currently in the closed position. Yeah, this thing is so freaking cool. I went ahead and decked it out with a couple 212 clones. But yeah, this thing just looks so fantastic. Phenomenal job due to the designer, Richboyjhae. Good job, bud. This thing is just insane, and I cannot stop looking at it. I do want to reiterate the fact that this is definitely an expert level build, even for his builds. Previously, I've put together his his first order transporter, his Imperial AT Walker, as well as the Razor Crest from the Mandalorian, and among this is probably the most expert level build that he's done so far, which is not a bad thing, but it definitely had some frustrating parts where I was like, okay, maybe I should take a second before I break something. But other than that, I think it was worth it. This thing overall just looks fantastic from every single angle, and it's just so cool. Makes me want to use this thing in so many different Clone Wars or epic battles just to showcase this thing in. Now, obviously, right now I currently have the 212 clones, but I figured to do something fun by showcasing it with other clone variants. So something I really enjoy about this gunship is the amount of scenes and battles you can utilize it for. Obviously, you can recreate the scene with Aayla Secura and Commander Bly going to Felucia, which is definitely a great battle. to Anakin and Rex leading the 501st on the Battle of Umbara, about to commit more and more war crimes, or making some familiar scenes from the Clone Wars era. Obviously, Jhae does have a model more accurate to the Clone Wars variant of the gunship, so if you're interested in that, where the doors are both closed as well as this little area is closed off, so it's much more accurate to the Clone Wars, but it is still an option to recreate some of those early stages of the Clone Wars while they're wearing their P1 armor, which I still think is the superior clone armor. And of course, probably the most obvious is the first battle of Geonosis. I think this is probably the most, epic idea, obviously, or the most not recommended, but most recognizable battle of all, utilizing this gunship right here. Obviously, is that first battle of Geonosis, having all the Jedi and all these P1 shiny clones getting to experience the accents of war. And this thing is just so fantastic. It definitely has me thinking about Geonosis in the near future a lot more than I ever have honestly thought about building one, just so I can see this thing on Geonosis. So if that's something you guys are interested, definitely let me know in the comments below. But again, this thing is just so lovely. All the different details, all the different rockets and accents and different colors and different things in this thing. I cannot recommend this more. Again, I do want to reiterate, this is definitely a master builder style build. I would not recommend this if you're just wanting to open up a bag and get to building and be done. This is definitely going to take a few hours. This took the approximate of 3 days, 4 days at most, I think. Now, obviously, I did other things alongside with this, but it is definitely a build that'll train you into becoming a better builder. Honestly, there's just so many different techniques that I never knew were possible, and so huge shout out to Jhae on this. I'm definitely so excited to utilize this in my next build. And other than that, let's get right into the final thoughts of this gunship. So final thoughts on the model, I definitely want to say I recommend this build to any diehard fan of either the Clone Wars, the Clone Troopers, or obviously Episode 2 and 3. If you guys are a huge gunship fan, I definitely recommend it, especially compared to the current set gunship, which is the Coruscant Guard one, which is the all-red one. If you are willing to put extra money towards this, I cannot recommend this enough. If you're interested in the instructions for this model, which is the Episode 2/Episode 3 instructions, I'll leave a link in the description to Jhae's Instagram to reach out to get them. Like I mentioned before, he also has 2 other designs. He has the Republic Gunship used in the Clone Wars itself, which again has the extra doors as well as coverage, and then obviously it does have the Munilist gunship, which is a throwback to the original Clone Wars, which is also a fantastic looking gunship. But for me, this is definitely where it is going to be, is the Episode 2/Episode 3. So if you're interested, I think he has them selling for $15, $20 at most. I bought these instructions months and months and months ago, so I can't remember exactly, but I do believe it is $15 for the instructions. So if, again, you're interested and you're a diehard gunship fan, I'll leave a link in the description below. Again, I cannot recommend this model enough. I cannot wait to utilize this in my next mock, which I haven't officially announced yet. So with that being said, I think it's time to showcase what I'll be utilizing this beautiful gunship in right now.